An old interview of the Olsen twins on The Oprah Show has left fans disgusted after the girls were asked invasive questions by the talk show host, and it's even worse when you take the context into account. The Olsen twins were Hollywood's darlings in the early 2000s. I mean, they still are. But they have moved from being in front of the camera to exciting behind-the-scenes ventures, and they're mainly in the fashion world now. Some people believe that the reason they switched industries is because the pressure to be perfect was too great. The pair did literally grow up on camera. They starred on Full House together when they were little, and then went on to film like 20 movies, TV shows, music, a magazine. They were booked and busy. Because they are twins and did almost everything together, people often combined their financial gains into one, and together they became essentially billionaires before they turned 21. That was due to all their Hollywood projects, but also because once they were old enough, they took over their businesses and it was worth a lot. Nowadays, they're probably still getting a lot of royalties, but most of their revenue seems to be coming from their various fashion brands. All of this to say, they've grown up comfortably and widely adored, so one would think that they were having a great time. Not necessarily the case. They grew up in the public eye, so their every move was watched. Growing pains were on full display, and people loved to comment on them and their bodies. And at such an impressionable age, with so many people talking about their physical appearance like it was their God-given right, it took a toll on the woman. One of those people that considered the twins' weight a topic of conversation was none other than Oprah Winfrey. It's 2004, and the twins are almost 18. They're sitting down for an interview with Oprah. The interview covers a lot, but one section really stuck out. Oprah brings up a recent rumor that had been circulating about Mary-Kate, that she was struggling with an eating disorder. Yeah, Oprah pretty much asked about it outright. She said, "I know a new rumor recently surfaced that has really upset you, right?" The girls didn't answer right away, so Oprah continued, "You know, the one about eating." Again, Mary-Kate was struggling with this at the time, and Oprah's like, "What if we got into it on national television? Let's talk about it." That in of itself is pretty problematic, especially considering their age, but it somehow got worse. The girls kind of try to respond, but not give too many personal details away, saying that people are going to write what they're gonna write, and that they just try not to read any of it, good or bad. Ashley remarked about the pressures to look a certain way, and yet nothing you do ever being good enough, you're always too something. However, mid-answer, Oprah interjected to outright ask what size the twins were. Ashley did look pretty surprised by the question, and the pair tried to kind of laugh it off and didn't end up actually responding with an actual size, instead opting to say that they were short and petite. Oprah's response to this was, "That's so interesting," following up with, "I'm obsessed with size," and you're like, I really don't know. I kind of get what she was going for with that statement, but also not really, so don't ask me to explain. What I do understand is that the twins looked pretty uncomfortable with the questions, especially compared to the reactions to other topics from the interview, like their college dreams and how to tell the two apart. As the topic kind of came to a close, Mary-Kate said, "If we were obsessed with our size, it'd be, I don't know, a different story." People nowadays aren't just upset with Oprah though, but also the audience, because they laughed frequently during the conversation. And sure, we do exist in a very different time today, but even back then, a grown woman that has been very public with her weight loss journey, that decided to address problematic rumors about young stars, not just their weight but potential eating disorders, and also asking what size they were exactly, it feels weird, and people are unhappy. People are especially upset with Oprah Winfrey for asking Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen about their weight on the talk show, not just because the question was unnecessary for anyone, but especially young people. The twins were uncomfortable, and Mary-Kate was dealing with some personal matters related to weight behind the scenes, but also because Oprah's built an entire empire on the topic of weight. She was an investor in Weight Watchers and a spokesperson until 2024. Per the Daily Mail, she left the position due to her use of Ozempic and other weight loss medicines. I mean, lots of celebrities have admitted to using these things, so why was it a problem specifically for Oprah? Well, previously she had said that she didn't want to use things like that because they were the easy way out. At a panel hosted in 2023, Oprah talked about how important it is to be accepting of whatever body you choose to be in. She also discussed how she no longer feels ashamed of using the medicines and instead uses it as a tool in her weight loss journey, same as physical activity or diets. People are just kind of upset that someone that has been very vocal about their struggles with weight would put another person, then rumored to also be struggling with their weight, on the spot and then ask them to talk about their own experience on national TV. After their appearance on The Oprah Show, in which they were directly asked about Mary-Kate's then rumored eating disorder, Mary-Kate actually did end up in rehab in the summer. The reason why? for treatment for anorexia was revealed later on. I'm sure Oprah's comments on her show weren't the only reason for the actress going, though they probably just didn't help. The topic of the twins' weight was being discussed by many different people and celebrity gossip publications. There were articles upon articles about how thin the girls were and how worried people were. There was even one magazine that I found that had a detailed breakdown of the food that they would eat in a day, down to a split mini muffin and cubes of beef. It was quite literally the strangest thing I've ever seen. Though the pair have definitely been through it when it comes to media attention, they acknowledge how grateful they are for their opportunities and the fact that they were able to make it out with minimal damage. I mean, going to rehab is not great, that's not what I'm saying, but they had spoken in interviews before disappearing about how they were grateful that they never reached the point of like a public breakdown. For the most part, they did deal with personal matters in private. One of the sisters in particular referenced Britney Spears' well-known breakdown and how she was glad that she never experienced public pressure to that point. The twins have adopted a private lifestyle in every sense of the word. It extends even into their fashion lines. When their brand, The Row, first started taking off, at first the women were hesitant about being the faces for it. They even briefly considered not letting people know that they were behind the luxury brand and instead getting a different figurehead. The clothes, they are also pretty discreet when it comes to their branding. The sisters have said that they don't even like putting things in the windows at their shops. Last year in March for Paris Fashion Week, as they debuted their new The Row collection, they encouraged guests not to take any photos or videos at all. It maintains privacy, sure, but it also just makes everything seem even more exclusive for their designer label. Paris also happens to be the latest city that their stores have expanded to. Even though the pair were doing fine for their age, they were always too much of something for the people to be happy with their appearance. Plus, the 2000s were a time when not being a size 2 or under was like committing a deadly sin in Hollywood. I don't know what size the twins really were, I do not care. However, it is really sad that they had to go through having a bunch of adults making unsolicited comments about their bodies while they were growing up. It clearly took a toll considering Mary-Kate ended up struggling with anorexia. Mary-Kate spent the 6 weeks in rehab before being released before the summer was over. At the time, the twins and their publicist had said that the girls understood that the public wanting every little detail about their personal lives and how they lived their life was expected to come with the territory, but it doesn't make the comments any better though. The Olsen twins have since kind of departed Hollywood. I mean, like, not completely. Their sister, Elizabeth Olsen, is definitely taking up the acting torch, and the twins have actually shifted gears into a totally different art form, which is fashion. And they're doing a great job, still making public appearances, but definitely staying out of the spotlight in comparison to what they used to do. They now run a few different brands. They always had an interest in the fashion industry, even before they could legally head a company. They were the faces for various businesses. They had a clothing line for girls in Walmart that was wildly successful, and then when they were older, they started a few more brands like The Row, Elizabeth and James, Olsen Boy, and Stylement. They've won awards in the field and generally received praise on social media for their clothing and personal style. But according to CelebrityNetwork.com, the twins have a combined net worth of $1 billion. So they have definitely come a long way, but what do you think? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and if you want more, check out the rest of the channel. Thanks for watching. Bye!